Hey guys, today I'm going to attempt to study and practice anatomy, so come along. I begin with this reference photo that I found on Google. Some of the poses I really liked and wanted to try to copy and try to just get the gist and sort of have my muscles moving and practicing. So I think I only did 3 out of the 5 different poses that this reference show. I did do another reference, 2 poses specifically from the one that is now being shown. I wanted to try to get at least one back shot and one to the side. So there were 3 front poses, 1 back pose, and then 1 side pose. The side pose was very difficult for me, as you could see. More specifically, in the later pose, you'd see me struggle more specifically towards the chest area with that specific pose. So you'll see in a bit. I sort of, for this part, just pasted the poses from the top of the stick figures and tried to actually draw the body and some poses of people. All of them I used were just the female body, but I plan to practice more in the future and utilize all different types of bodies. But for now, we are keeping it simple because I need to just have one thing going on one at a time. But yeah, I'm pretty happy of how it turned out overall because for me not really drawing or practicing anatomy in a long time, I really felt like I did a decent job with drawing the different poses here. I think one of my main issues I come across when I draw is that after long periods of time, when I stop drawing as much and I start drawing people again or bodies again, the anatomy is like not there. Like the knowledge is not there. There's always some limbs that are slightly out of place, that are slightly weird looking, and that's my problem, which is why I like to do like portrait shots a lot. But again, this is me challenging myself to sort of practice full drawing the full body, to get to a point where I can make more drawings of full body figures and utilize the knowledge used in practicing to really show the correct joints, the correct configurations of things. I also just want to point out at this point, I'm no longer really looking at the reference photos as much. And it's also clear that the way or the style, I should say, is like different from the style of people in those references. One was more like realistic type of thing, and then another was a more stylized version of what that person does in their style. So I was trying to emulate the same poses, but also try to just draw the body how I would sort of want it to look in a certain style. I wanted it to be a lot more softer than I believe the first reference, but I was also not going for super realistic like the second reference. So you can always just go back and forth, test a few things, put in a bit of your flavor or anything like that. But just wanted to mention because completely fine doing that, or it's completely fine utilizing the reference throughout the whole thing to try to practice specific poses or specific things that you may want to do. I don't know if y'all can see it. If y'all don't, then I'll just be exposing myself. But I am not good at drawing hands. I'm still not good at drawing hands. So if you see my hands looking a little wonky, that's the reason. I wasn't trying to make it super detailed either. And there were definitely some instances where the hands looked super weird or in a kind of just weird looking perspective, but that's that. Yeah, don't judge me on that. So at this point, I'm basically done. This is the finished piece of my anatomy. I actually was so into it that I wanted to draw something, a more final piece to show uh, just my progress. So I chose Spider-Man. I recently went and watched the film Across the Spider-Verse, so I was like, it was fitting, and plus Spider-Man has a lot of interesting um, poses that I can try to do and really, really challenge myself. Like, I'm really challenging myself, y'all. So here is me just doing a quick sketch. I utilized the same kind of technique that previous reference utilized because I like that technique. I know many people could just go into it or just draw very simple shapes. Girl, I need that whole kind of like stick figure looking thing. And it really helped with creating and drawing the pose. It made it a lot easier. So, but yeah, you could see me going in and sort of fixing anything or, yeah, because that leg needed to be fixed or just any other just really utilizing the skeleton to sort of help me. Like I said, that hand, the fist, we don't talk about that. We are just going to ignore that because I don't know what I was doing. I did plan for it to be just a sketch to show that here's me, here's like a full figure, um, utilizing the previous techniques, but I low-key wanted to color it. So you'll see me coloring. Um, This honestly took me quite some time to do with this piece because I got carried away and actually really started just going in with the colors. I even added a background. Like I did a lot when this was initially just supposed to be a sketch to go along with my anatomy sort of study. Um, but this is how it's going. This is how it's ending up. And I felt like it could have been its own video, but at the same time, I still wanted to sort of tie it into the whole like anatomy. Like I just practiced. So this is like how it went realistically. Like I just finished the drawings of the figures and wanted to draw something in relation to see how I utilize those techniques. So you see me working here. I honestly loved the type of drawing style that the Spider-Verse had, so I had to incorporate some of the effects, some of the like visuals that the movie showed. Y'all, I went out like for real. This turned out to be something more than what I was planning on it being, but this is overall how it ended up, the finished look. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys learned something from my little spiel, from my little explanations and all that stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching.